It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars. The grind don't stop, we're living in the scars. On Watchdog Wednesday, we're raising the bars.
Let me ask you a question. What happens when your neighbor threatens to shoot your dog in front of your 8-year-old? And instead of walking across the yard like... Let me ask you a question. What happens when your neighbor threatens to shoot your dog in front of your 8-year-old? And instead of walking across the yard like a normal human being to talk about it, they spend months hunting you down on social media. Well, apparently, you wake up to find 3.3 million people watching the drama unfold on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. My name is Regina Connell with Wild Wired Media. This is the Watchdog Wednesday edition, and today we're putting our own situation on trial because this whole story has everything. A threatening comment yelled from a car window, a polite little note left in a mailbox, a neighbor who admits she spent months searching the internet to find me, and the grand finale, someone all the way in Ohio calling the Boone County Sheriff's Department about our family. That's right. Instead of knocking on a door in rural West Virginia, we got the sheriff's office. So today we're going to walk through the messages, the letter, the viral post, and the absolutely wild chain of events that turned a neighborhood dispute into a 3.3 million view internet circus. And trust me, it gets weirder. So you guys, welcome to Wild Wired Media LLC. My name is, again, Regina Connell. We're going to start this live stream. So let's start where this whole thing began, with a car window, a dog, and a threat yelled loud enough for my 8-year-old to hear it. Let's get started.
Taking back the night and we're standing our ground. Every step, every move, we're breaking new sound. On Watchdog Wednesday, we're running this town. We're the ones who won't back down. Taking back the night and we're standing our ground. Every step, every move.
All right, everybody, we're going to get started here. I'm just loading some assets. Gotta do a sound check.
Every lie they feed. We rise above it. We plant the seed.
Oh, no wonder. There we go. I was adjusting the wrong sound thing. Okay, guys, welcome in. My name is Regina Connell with Wild Wired Media LLC, formerly known as West Virginia Wire. So today we're talking about being a good neighbor. So the sheriff, the dog, and 3.3 million views, our social media stalkers unmasked. So if you saw from the thumbnail, let me bring it back up. So if you saw from the thumbnail that I made, that's our neighbor's daughter. And so we're going to talk about this. So we're going to start with the original note that I sent and put in their mailbox. And I'd like to kindly remind everyone that their mailbox sits on our property. We live in a rural area. So, somebody saying my fat little finger's in their mailbox, it's a federal offense. Bring the charge. I don't think the federal government is going to spend the time to indict me over that. Secondly, our Postal Service, they are actually independent contractors that contract out to the United States Postal Service. So we're very grateful for those contracts, and we're grateful to our Postal Service people. So let's get into why we're doing a live stream today. I won't be live for very long. I thank you all for coming in. I see we've got some comments. Let's see what we got. Moon Dev, what's up? Hey. So I'll try to get to your comments and pin them in a little bit. So I think it would be important to start at the beginning. So I'll start with my part in it and the note that I left in the mailbox, which we are absolutely allowed to do. It was just a friendly note. And if they don't want notes in their mailbox, or, they're worried about our dog being so vicious and maybe possibly thinking our dog might attack them, then maybe they should move their mailbox. But I don't think her father wants that. So you guys, let's jump into this feet first, right? Let's get into this. So I was looking for my water splash sound. Do I even have it anymore? Yes, let's jump in feet first. Boom. Oh, damn, I'm gonna turn this. Here we go. There we go. Let's jump in feet first. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring up on the stage. Let me remove this asset. I'm gonna bring up on the view screen. You're gonna see the note that I left in the mailbox. And ooh, where is it? I just downloaded it. Uh, okay, well, I hold on, I can bring it up another way. Let me bring it up this way. I'll just go ahead and do it this way. So it was an attention neighbor, attention letter. Here we go. Got it right here. Should be able to do a shell screen. Oh, this is gonna make me mad. So it should have downloaded. No, I don't want to try for a month free. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. I should have already had this up. I should have been more prepared. But let's see if it actually downloaded. Yes. Yes, it did. So let's do this. Oops. I don't want to open it. Oops. Oops. Nope. 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 Stop it. It's always this subscription, that subscription is so annoying, you guys. I can't even stand it. So let me pull it up. And if I can't, I'll just read it to you. And I did post it on my Facebook. So after I read this to you, we're gonna go to the messenger message that Elena Thompson sent to me versus walking across the street and saying, "Hey, your dogs are messing with me," or something like that. Anything, right? And y'all are really gonna be amazed. All right, let me just do it this way. I'll just read it to you. It's just easier that way. Because I want to get it right. I want to make sure my wording is completely correct in what I said. Okay, so I simply said, "Attention neighbor, dear neighbor, next time you decide that it is a good idea to threaten my husband and my youngest daughter that you will shoot a dog for chasing your car, please just shoot the dog and do not say a word because you will go to jail. This will be and I'm not going to repeat all that because their family has a history, and I don't want to say that on a live stream. If you guys read through the comments, you know what it is. Her father is a good man. We've met him a couple of times, and it was an unfortunate incident that happened. I do have questions around it, though, right? And we could talk about that later. So I said, so please do not communicate threats to my family about a dog. So then we're going to go over to her messages on Facebook and we're going to take a look at what she sent me. So she sent this to me like days after. And so let's see. So this is funny. She uses personally a lot. Personally. All right, guys, we're going to get into this. So here's the Facebook Messenger that she sent me, and then we'll get into the post that went ridiculously viral. I couldn't believe that it went viral. It was stupid. So Elena Thompson, our neighbor across the street, there's 3 houses in the holler. I would like, oh, first let's back up to May. So May 17th of 2024. Hey, I've struggled to find you on social media. I found your TikTok and just now found your Facebook. Well, guess what? If you would have walked over here, I could have shown you all the links. And I don't think it's that hard to find me. Y'all let me know if it's that hard to find me. So she, on March 2nd, 2026, I would like to send you a message personally. Okay, well, why didn't you walk over here or tell your father to come talk to us? Because you guys have no place putting papers in my mailbox, not knowing the situation. Well, there's the operative phrase right there, Miss Elena, is not knowing the situation. So how would we be made aware of the situation unless you come talk to us? If you don't feel comfortable coming and talking to us, that makes no sense. But you want to creep up into my messenger on Facebook? This is crazy. And I'm not even really that active on Facebook. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Yes, I'm on the X platform, all of that stuff. But this kind of stuff, this is crazy. You guys are going to be amazed at what happens next, right? Because the sheriff did show up. And I do want to do a huge shout out to Boone County Sheriff's Department. Man, y'all are on it like doggone it. We have personally met our sheriff, Chad Barker. He's a very good man. I do believe this is his last term. So we'll be very interested to see who's running for sheriff next. And the sheriff's deputy was very kind and gracious, came in, talked to us. It was wonderful. So those of you that were making threats and all this craziness, look, social media is not for the weak, right? Our lives should not be defined by what people say to us or think of us on social media. It's not a make or break. So let's continue reading her message to me, her Facebook Messenger message after it took her forever to find me. Ooh. So let's see. Not knowing the situation. Okay, so here's where she's going to explain herself. It's the first time I'm hearing about it. I got chased by both dogs all the way up to my grandma's. I proceeded to turn my car off and go inside so I could get my package, and both dogs started running at me, growling. Really? I'm sorry. I don't think that you're very sorry, Elena, but let's keep going. I'm sorry, but the one thing I won't do is be attacked on my own property. So, Miss Elena, let's define the word attack. And this is where we're going to bring Mary Beth in. She's familiar with the situation. She does help me craft my, videos that I put out. And those of you on YouTube, please forgive me. I have been behind on my content. I'm trying some new things out. As you can see, we moved this to an official studio. So we're super excited. We do have 3 stories coming at you. I'm working on a piece and I have an editor working on a piece, 2 pieces actually. One is on Jupiter and the images that NASA recently released on the planet Jupiter, as well as apparently there's a new trend going on that people are nostalgic about the year 2016. So we're doing a piece on that. So huge shout out to AI Arsenal right here on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. If you're not following her, you absolutely should be. She's amazing. So her name is Morgan and she does all my editing for me. So I am trying someone else out and they're working on a piece on Iran for me. So we'll see how that goes. And the whole purpose is to build a team. So AI Arsenal is a business builder in her own right. She has a website launched. She's got a new application where it's kind of like a Craigslist where people can find various services, maybe like an Angie's List. So please go check her out and I'll put all that information at the end of the live stream. So all of you joining, we thank you. If you put a comment, I will address it. Doesn't matter. I'm a staunch believer in the freedom of speech, our First Amendment right. So let's get back to how Elena's explaining her situation. I think you'll find it very interesting. All right, and let's remember that Elena's 20. She's 20 years old, so I'm sure she thinks she's very whatever in this situation. I'm not sure. So that's the first I'm hearing of it, right? So I on her own property. So let's clarify your own property. You said you were at your grandmother's, so that is not your property, dear girl. That is not your property. In fact, I think your grandparents are looking to sell, and I don't think that you can afford to buy. We are very interested in buying. We'll figure something out. Let's talk, neighbors. We love Chipper and Cheryl. They're great people. We've never had a problem. We do realize the white dog, the pit bull, was an annoyance. She got out of the house, but instead of trying to find out what happened on our end, it wasn't a regular occurrence that this dog was out. So let me remind you, Elena, you own no property in this holler unless you're on one of the deeds for the mortgages, right? You're not. You said you were at your grandmother's, right? So let's examine. Regina reviews the record. Let's review the record together. And then we're going to get to the viral post, you guys. Sorry this is taking so long, but I think I will give it its final attention, hopefully bring some closure, and people will stop annoying our sheriff's department if you live in a different state. But hold off, that's coming. So we've asked nicely for you to put your dogs up and keep them in your yard. Okay, so let's clarify who we is. We only seems to be me, which be referring to you, Elena. So your grandparents, we have had several conversations. When we first got Moose, we explained to everyone that that white dog is not ours and we are working on rehoming it or giving it back to its owner so that its owner can do something. And we remedied the situation. So again, I'll ask, why are you trying to speak to me on Facebook Messenger instead of having a face-to-face conversation. It seems a little cowardly to me, but I think you guys are going to be even more shocked because she makes a statement that I just couldn't believe, that everybody was on her side because I told her, please stop. I'm going to make this public. Please stop. Cease and desist. Send your father here to talk to us. Stop this madness. Okay. And so she continues on with her oversharing and self explanations. Now, I did say some things that were a little below the belt. You know, when it comes to my 8-year-old, the gloves are off, right? You don't ever say something like that to my 8-year-old, ever. Any 8-year-old. If I heard you saying that to any 8-year-old, it would be on and popping. Okay. So think about what you're saying. Yes, we do have freedom of speech. Remember, there's always consequences, and communicating threats is a very serious crime. So I think I would abstain. Try to get your emotions under control. Let's continue on with this saga. All right. So she continues on with her self explanation. So, no, we never had a conversation with you, Elena. And please keep it to me, keep it to I statements, because you do not speak for your father nor for your grandparents. And they are all welcome to come over here. We'll break bread and we'll talk about it. All right, let's keep going. There is no reason that I should be getting chased on foot off of your property. You guys, did you catch that? There is no reason I should be being chased off of your property. That would be indicative to me that our dog was doing his job. Our dog's name is Moose. So she just admitted that the dogs chased her off of our property. Elena, but let me guess, you didn't mean to say that. That's not what you meant. I know what you mean. So yes, if something was to happen to me, if something was to happen to you, if something were to happen to you, dear girl, that's a big if, right? In 3 years, nothing has happened to you. So I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it is that you're so upset about, right? So let's continue on. Let's continue on. All right. So we're going to examine the evidence more here. You guys, if you can see that, I'll make a full screen. So she admits that she was on her grandparents' property. So that's not your property, Elena. So that's one thing. So let's talk about what was the other thing? Oh, that the dogs chased her off of our property. Did you guys catch that one? I will say a commenter, I'll have to find her, he or she, I think it was a she, had caught that. She was like, and look, Elaine, I'm not looking for anybody to be on my side. So let's continue on because she says that everybody is on her side. So let's check it out. Who is everybody? So she makes the we statement, and it's really should be an I statement because her grandparents and her father have no problem coming and having a conversation with us. So anyway, so if something was to happen to me, I will take action because I've been bit by dogs and that's not okay on someone else's property. Okay, first of all, get your story straight, girl. Get your story straight. Okay, so you've been bitten before. You admitted that you should not have to be chased off of our property. These are your words, not mine. So I'm thinking if the sheriff's department actually wanted to read through all this garbage, you're the one that looks bad here. But let's continue on, guys, because it gets better. It gets better. So, and this is really, it is kind of concerning that this girl feels like she has to take to social media versus having an IRL conversation versus URL. So, and as far as the note goes, I'm a grown woman. So act like a grown woman, Elena. So any issue you have with me, you can address it. I did address it with a note, with a phone number for you to contact us. And what did you do? You put the note back in our mailbox, which is fine, which tells me that maybe your father doesn't know what's going on. And I'm sure he doesn't want his personal life drug out all over Facebook. And stay tuned, guys, because the sheriff's department got drug into this, and not even from someone in our own state. So, hey, Boone County Sheriff's Department, mad apologies and mad props to you for addressing this when you shouldn't have had to. Elena, I'm not going to totally blame you for this one, right? So let's keep going because I'm going to let y'all know how this all unfolded. And it's all put to bed, Elena, and nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed. Remember that. So let's continue. So Elena says, the dogs are out of hand and I will not tolerate it any longer. You won't? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Huh? What you gonna do about it, Elena? Let's keep going. This is laughable. We haven't even gotten to the post yet. So, you guys, I did screenshot all of this and I made a post. They go up past my gate, almost all the way up my driveway, chasing my car, and they follow all the way up the driveway, up to my grandma's. There's no reason you're aggressive dogs. So, we only have one dog. Get that straight. Should be on our property. We never had an issue till they. Okay, Elena, sweetheart, who, who is we? Who is we? You should be saying me. You should be saying I. Because I guarantee either your father doesn't know it. Now, she claims her father does know all about it, right? She claims that her father knows all about it. Maybe he does, right? But he's not addressed it with us. Nothing will change. The dog is an off dog leash. You knew that 3 years ago. Your family knows it. You know the laws here. But let's get to what the sheriff said. Let's continue on. So I'm not going to spend too much time on poor little Elena that can't have a conversation. So before you place another note in my mailbox, and let me just say, I did place the note right back on her mailbox. I sure did. I sure did. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Let's keep going, little girl. Move your mailbox. Oh, wait, it's not your mailbox. You should ask what happened. No, I shouldn't ask what happened. I should not ask what happened. No, 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 no. You should get yourself under control. Come over here from the first time the dogs you thought were a problem. Now, I do know that Rusty had a conversation with you and your father where you recorded the dogs, which is fine. You could post that too. But I doubt anything's going to happen because the story gets better. Let's continue on. So we're going to move on, So I told her, you come speak to us directly, let me see where you can see this. So I told her to come speak with us directly, control your temper, especially when you want to talk about firearms. And before you respond, just know my dad is going to come speak personally. Hey, guess what? We're still waiting on your dad to come speak personally. We are still waiting. And I've seen him drive by, but he hasn't. Come on, guy. If you want to come talk to us, be a man and come talk to my husband. This is unacceptable. Now it's all over Facebook. You want to blame me? That's fine, right? I'm a content creator. We could be neighbors or you could be content for me. I prefer not waste my time on it. All right, the girl's confused. And what's interesting is at the top of her profile, she puts that she's a correctional officer, right? Yet when the sheriff spoke with her, and let me just say, I'll give y'all a spoiler, a teaser. So, yes, the sheriff came over last night. The sheriff's deputy came over last night. He was very kind and gracious. And thank you for listening to us. And, I think he thought it was unbelievable because someone in Ohio in the comment section called the sheriff's department before 6 a.m. to say that they were fearful of a neighbor conflict. Right? Elena, did you fuel any of that? Because let me tell you, you just wasted our sheriff's department's resources. They were kind enough to check it out. But hey, person in Ohio, did you ever think to maybe reach out to Elena? Maybe y'all conspired on the back end. I don't know. But no one ever reached out to us to ask us our version of events, really examine where we live and how things are. But let's get to the Facebook post because I'm not going any more than an hour. And once this is put to bed, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. So, Elena, you are welcome to come over here anytime. You are not welcome to speak to my 8-year-old that way. Can you imagine what she was thinking in her head, having visions of this puny little thing pulling out a firearm and shooting her dog? What a deranged individual. No excuse, no record me. I beg, your dogs are the one out of control. Well, if they're so out of control, and many people pose the question, if they're so out of control, Elena, why didn't you call animal control? Why didn't you call the sheriff's department? Why you got somebody in Ohio calling the sheriff's department? I'm sure your dad doesn't want law enforcement involved. And guess what? The dog has never touched you. Never. And if you ask anyone and they tell the truth and they're a good witness, they'll say if Moose even comes anywhere near them, all you have to do is shoo him and he'll go back home. He's not interested in you. He's interested in protecting us and the property. Let's keep going. And I'll say it again. I don't want to show all of this because it's in the post and you guys can check it out. I won't keep repeating it on the live stream, the unfortunate event that happened with them and their dog. So once again, let me show you Elena's profile so you guys know who she is. since everybody's on her side. So she did say everybody's on my side because I told her I'll publicly post this. She was like, "That's okay. Everybody's on my side." I said, "Okay, well, let's see who everybody is." So that's Elena. That's Elena. Now let's go to my profile and check out the post. I pinned it again so you guys could see it. So as you can see, the original post was, hold on, let me, could make this bigger. All right, as you can see on Facebook, the original post was our neighbors are social media stalkers, right? Since when did we come to an age where people yell out their window over a dog, threatening to shoot the dog, and then they contact me on Facebook because I left a message in their mailbox? This is what I'm dealing with. Stop contacting me. This is public now. Do not contact me again. Your father can speak to my husband. Thank you and be well. Beware of this person in real life and on social media. Now, I will tell you that the officer that came by, we had a long conversation, told our version of events. He said he spoke with you, Elena. He spoke with you last Wednesday, I think, and your stories don't match up. The first thing you said was that you thought something might happen. So, in the rule of law, in the justice system, what you think does not actually manifest into real life. Who is we? Who is we? Your father still has not come and talked to us. We welcome it. We welcome it. All right. So look, get your emotions under control. Get you a little anger management course going on. We're not mad at you. We're not mad at you, but grow up. So the interesting thing is on her Facebook profile, she claims to be a correctional officer here in the Boone County Youth Detention Center. We do not have a jail. So my only question is, when the officer was talking to you, why did you tell the officer that you were in the medical field? Like, what are you really doing? Hmm? I don't know. And I know that moved back in when you were moved back in with your father, right? So you should apologize for what you said to my 8-year-old, but my 8-year-old thinks you're a lunatic, right? And I don't think that will ever change in her eyes. You look unhinged, plus your personal appearance leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not trying to go all in on you. I'm just stating facts. So let's continue. So I posted it all right here, right here. So I put threatening violence against an 8-year-old, and there were a lot of comments that were kind of crazy. You guys can read them at your leisure. But let me show you one thing. We'll show you this. So you guys, I never had anything go viral. I never would have wanted something like this to go viral, but maybe it went viral for a reason. So here on the insights, you can see that Facebook absolutely pays out. And it's like any other social media platform. They pay you, they generate profit off of ad revenue off of you posting. So Elena, maybe learn how to monetize on social media, right? You want to thrive off of drama? Come visit us. We'll be happy to talk to you guys. My name is Regina Connell with, hold on. My name is Regina Connell with Wild and Wired Media. We will catch you on the flip flop. I think this has gotten as much attention as I'm going to give to it. You guys can check me out on YouTube, on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, on Rumble, because that's where we're streaming also. I don't normally do a lot of live streams, but I will every now and then. It can be fun. So, you guys, it doesn't matter either way whether you think I'm guilty or not. If you don't know what's going on in a region and you don't really know, should you be wasting the local sheriff's department's time, resources, all of that we West Virginia taxpayers, Boone County taxpayers pay towards that? I think that's a little shallow and wrong. Maybe you should reach out to both parties if you're truly interested. Why not get to know the people in your own state, right? Is your state of Ohio so peaceful that you don't have people you could be calling your own sheriff's department on? Don't do it again, because you might end up with a bill from the Boone County Sheriff's Department. I certainly would have sent you one, and I think they should still send one. That's reporting a false whatever, right? And to have them waste their time to go through the post, right? We told the sheriff's deputy we actually made money off of it and are still making money off of it. So thank you. Continue to share it out if you want to. You guys, I don't spend a whole lot of time on Facebook, and that's not going to change. Until the next time, we'll catch you on the flip flop. And remember, the Iranian conflict video is coming out, where Iran is now, where it used to be, and where it might be in the future. Also, we're going to be talking about the new viral trend of 2016 maybe being, what is it, 2026 being 2016 2.0 on social media. There's a craving for it, and we're going to tell you why. And then last but not least, hopefully in the next day or so, we'll get our Jupiter release out on the NASA images that were just dropped on social media. People are doing a lot of great fun things with it. A lot of people think it might be catfishing, space catfishing. Are the photos real, or are they not? We're going to discuss all of that. All right. I said for the third time, I'm out of here. I truly am this time. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the flip flop. Bye.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars.